Okay, so another volatile week has ended. NVDA 0.7% on Friday, July 26. So what are we watching from here, and what do we have? What kind of information do we have off of this week's price action? So today, well, it closed at 113, and let's switch to a daily chart for NVDA. So year to date, again, I'm gonna say that again. There's no better stock than NVIDIA so far, even after this pullback, outperforming the market. Except, of course, Supermicro Computer, which was added from Russell 2000, but it wasn't added till like mid-year. But NVIDIA year to date, 126%, SMCI 144%. And third best stock is Vista, and fourth, you can see how big of a gap. Okay, so what I'm watching from here. So last week we talked about that 5 trading sessions every single day. NVDA opened higher, closed lower. It was negative. This week so far, you can see we had Monday green, Tuesday indecision, gap down lower. Yesterday we had a similar action, actually, indecision candle, but it did recover most of the gains, bounced off of the earnings high of the Q1 report, which is 106.30. And today, well, it is positive, but opened higher again, didn't close at lows. We had a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of wick here, which we can say, well, we have higher lows so far, but we closed negative. We sold off most of the gap, basically gave back most of it as well. So which means there are still sellers who are maybe taking profit, or maybe hedging, maybe going somewhere else, such as IWM. If you are watching Russell 2000, it did it did 1.6% today, outperformed all of the indices, I believe, and this is where money could be going in anticipation of the probable rate cuts. We do have FOMC coming up next week. Jerome Powell is speaking July 21st, 4 more days, but market is basically pricing in 93%, 94% that there's not going to be any rate change in that coming up meeting. But we'll see what's the tone going forward into the September, because into the September market is actually pricing in cut and maybe 2 cuts. Maybe we'll see how this is gonna change. But that's why you see small caps catching a bit. So October, November, you can see. So basically by the end of this year, market is December 18th, you can see that market is basically saying that rates could fall to 4.5, basically. But we'll see what they're gonna say. But NVDA, back to the chart, even after this price action, my point is, okay, so we have this earnings high of 106 after reporting earnings last time. We did rally, and now we came back down, tested this level. So we are in this range between 117, which was support, sort of acting as a resistance. So far, I will be watching this range and this range, 106. But at the same time, stock at the moment, if I bring up all of the moving averages, you can see yellow line represents 50-day. It's below it. So that's the resistance I'll be watching. 20-day way up there, 5-day in a downtrend. So ultra short term, I want to see stock basically chop, or maybe basically form some sort of a bottom. But if we breach these levels, well, 95, why not 80? Is it possible? Well, if we do see NVDA somehow sell off to these basically $80 levels, $82 levels, that would be 40% down from its all-time highs. Currently, we do have almost like 20% pullback. So we are definitely in a correction territory. But 106 so far, short-term support on an hourly, that's what I would watch. But it can definitely chop around here before Fed and basically try to kill premium. In terms of option activity, I was just going through the unusual activity today. 2.5 million calls traded and 2 million puts traded. There's a lot going on, but in terms of unusual option activity, well, today a lot of people looks like try to sell 113 call, because that was the very unusual strike for today. Traded a lot, 200,000 contracts actually on a daily that was expiring, and well, that contract barely was in the money and lost almost 90% of the premium if you just pull up the chart. Also, scrolling down, there's not much unusual flow actually. So the only thing could be just standing out right here, which people paid the asking price for August 9th 103 put, but it doesn't have much of a volume, but it has 2,500 contracts traded, so that's a standing out unusual as well. So can it go there? Very possible. What's the probability of seeing NVDA by let's say August 9th? Well, it is pricing that it can move by that date according to option market, plus or minus $10.50. So if we see, at the moment stock closed at 113. So to see the stock at those low 103s, 102s, well, that's what market is pricing it. So can it go there? Very likely, because it is not crazy of a move in 2 weeks to see NVIDIA down there. But can it also chop and do absolutely nothing and kill premium? Sure. Can it try to push? Well, at this moment, after seeing so many pullbacks, I'm not super bearish. In general, overall market has already, only pulled back 4%. Sky is not falling. Okay, the typical normal market corrects itself twice, 3 times a year. Typical. We haven't seen it since April. We just don't know how far it's gonna pull back, how long the volatility is going to persist, because we are in the middle of earnings and a lot of stocks are still reporting earnings, and whoever is missing or giving weak guidance is getting slapped really, really hard. You can just go take a look at Nike, you can take a look at Dexcom, and there are many, many other stocks that just got hammered. So yeah, volatility is still here, momentum still. Momentum hasn't changed, still to the downside. Cautiously, we'll be watching to the downside. If it does definitely crack 106, I will definitely join for 10 more points of a move lower to possibly try to capitalize on puts. But again, I don't have any position. I'm not trading this name. I have been mainly focusing on SPX, S&P 500 options. But we'll see what happens. We are on S&P sitting right above 50-day moving average. We can definitely be hovering around. We could definitely hover around here and kill premium, and maybe even try to drift slightly higher. But that's the update for NVDA. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a great weekend.